I the a-hole for telling the girl who kissed my boyfriend for a play that she is desperate and pathetic? Update. A month ago, I was told I would be the a-hole for not telling a date about my plans to be a single mother, so I told him. Am I the a-hole for jumping out of a bathroom window to avoid my mom's attempt at forcing a reunion between me and my ex-fiancé? I the a-hole for telling the girl who kissed my boyfriend for a play that she is desperate and pathetic? I, 19 female, study drama at uni and my boyfriend is on the same course. My boyfriend is a really good-looking guy, but he doesn't seem to know it. He gets a lot of attention from girls and for the most part, doesn't seem to get that they're flirting with him. I'm not generally annoyed by this and never really say anything. However, there's one girl in our class, let's call her Victoria, who is obsessed with my boyfriend. She goes out of her way to be paired with him in group activities. For example, if the professor picks groups by numbering us 1, 2, 3, she will move herself to be in the same number as him. And she recently stepped down from a main role in a play we're doing so she could be in a more minor one simply because this character has a romance with my boyfriend. I know this is the case because I've heard her say to her friends that she thinks he's hot and whatnot. I never said anything to her about it because she seems pretty insecure, always complaining about how she thinks she's ugly, and I don't see it as a big deal because my boyfriend doesn't care. However, we recently performed the play and had a small after party where she got slightly drunk and was bragging about how she's definitely felt something when they kissed in the play and she's going to ask him if he felt the same. I rolled my eyes and again ignored it until she actually went up to my boyfriend. She was a little bit drunk, and when she went up to him, I was there too. Victoria started saying that she knows he must have felt a spark. He's a really good kisser, etc. I snapped and sort of shouted at her that, "You sound incredibly desperate. Going after somebody else's boyfriend? You're pathetic if you think a stage kiss means you should be together." She looked super embarrassed and walked away, and I later heard she'd gone home crying. I feel like a dick because she's obviously insecure and whatnot, and her friends haven't stopped calling me a bitch since. Am I the a-hole?
NTA, edited again. I've done a total 180 with new information provided. If it's all true that the girl is aware of the relationship, has been told by the boyfriend to leave her alone, and is openly talking about wishing the two would break up, then she's reaped what she's sowed. She's disrespecting the boyfriend and acting super creepy. Pre-edit information request. Does she know that he has a girlfriend? You don't mention anywhere in this story that she knows. And you provided so many instances of her behavior where you could have stepped in calmly and introduced yourself, or your boyfriend could have mentioned it, but you let it build and turn into a huge ball of anger and resentment. Best case scenario here for you, I'm going with an ESH assuming she knew, but if she didn't, and this is the first that she finds out, all she's doing is some drunken teenage flirting and YTA. NTA, but if I were you I would have let the boyfriend handle it. If he isn't going to shut down a girl who's clearly going after him, then that speaks volumes. IMO. When Victoria went up to him at that party, instead of interjecting, you should have just let your boyfriend say he wasn't interested, it was just a stage kiss and didn't mean anything. This way, you don't come off as the jealous girlfriend, and when it comes directly from him, there's no question on the other girl's end of there still might be a chance of him and I together. This is coming from someone who has a conventionally attractive yet shy boyfriend. I know what it's like to have girls attracted to your boyfriend, regardless of him being in a relationship, and he's had to handle it. Info, I feel like certain details have been left out. In any case, I think maybe you overreacted, though I wouldn't call you an asshole. I mean, what's there to worry about if you and your BF are happy with each other? If she's not a threat, there was really no need to say as you did. Drunk people say and do dumb things, and maybe that's just her having been drunk. If she's trying to get in his group often, and you're sure it's him she's after, there's not a thing you can do about it. She's going to do what she's going to do, and you have no control over it. The real key to the solution is how secure you are in your relationship with your boyfriend. If you have nothing to worry about, then it won't matter how much she gets in his group and how much she kisses him for a stage part, you may be secure in your relationship. However, when you gave her the verbal smackdown for saying what she did, you're the one who looks insecure because your behavior indicates you're threatened by her. NTA, Victoria absolutely is. That being said, I would take this as a learning experience for both of you ladies. Not that you did anything wrong, this is on Victoria. I get that you don't want to be territorial over your boyfriend, and you might not want to get involved with this drama all the time, but according to your story, you had a lot of warning signs that this was going to happen. I would have maybe nipped this in the bud earlier to prevent the drunk girl going home crying from the party. Maybe even consider talking to your boyfriend about this. Maybe if you can keep him informed that this was this girl's intentions, he can do a better job at dropping hints and not giving this Victoria girl the impression that he could possibly be interested. But at the end of the day, this is all Victoria's own fault. No, you are not the asshole, she is. Okay, at best nah. I'm stretching my imagination to think that it's possible that she may have autism or something, in which case she may not know how inappropriate it was of her to do all that. But let's assume that she's a neurotypical person who should understand social cues. She knew that he had a girlfriend, she knew that you were said girlfriend, and knew that you were witnessing all of this, and did all of it anyway. I feel like you were way more patient than I would have been in that situation. My boyfriend is the same way, and to be honest, I'm sure he loves the attention that he gets just for being handsome and sweet and good at sports and all that. I know what it feels like to try and be the bigger person, but honestly, when does it stop being your duty and start becoming her, and his for that matter, duty to stop being a sneaky brat and go after a single guy? Fuck that. I would have said something much earlier.
Update. A month ago, I was told I would be the a-hole for not telling a date about my plans to be a single mother, so I told him. A month ago, I asked if I would be the a-hole for not telling a guy I had only started dating that I had plans to become a single mother. I was scared I'd lose him, but also felt I would be deceiving him by not telling him, thus making the investment in our relationship unfair. The comments were pretty much unanimous in that I'm an a-hole, and I needed to tell him, and this validated my decision to go forth and be honest, as nervous as I was. I explained my situation about taking 2 years to come to this decision. How my fertility clinic had shut due to COVID, which was why I had gone back onto dating apps. I explained how my clinic had reopened after meeting him, and how important it was to me to continue in my journey to become a mother. I knew this was baggage he hadn't expected, and that there was every chance he would step away from the situation. Well, he didn't. We're now in a committed relationship, and he's been supporting me in my journey. I've had 2 unsuccessful artificial inseminations with donor sperm, my original plan, and we've spoken about having a child together. As early on as it may seem, he told me my honesty made him consider his own future and how he really wants a family someday, and how he has admiration for me being honest about my situation, and how he wants to help me fulfill my desires to be a mother, whether with him or with a donor sperm. Either way, he wants to be a part of my life. I wanted to provide this update as a positive outcome has come out of being labeled an a-hole, and it pushed me to do the right thing, which has in turn meant I have the most understanding and accepting BF. Had I kept this info from him, it would have played on my conscience, as well as most likely have caused him to not trust me. So thank you.
Congrats. But please consider dating him for over a year before deciding to raise a family with him. As exciting and potentially awesome as this is, it's important to remember your ideals and what you set out to do. You wanted a baby for yourself. This baby will no longer be yours, and he will have 50% control. You don't know this man, so please spend years getting to know him. Or have your own baby and mitigate the risk. No rush, right? If y'all are in love, you two can start a family when you determine him to be father material. It's exciting, but please keep your wits about you. Don't plan a baby with a man during the honeymoon phase. Learn who he is during conflict before anything. I was in a similar situation a couple of years ago. I had been in and out of a relationship with someone in particular. While we were off for a few months, I decided it was time for me to try for a baby, and I had a male friend who wanted to be a father. So we were still in the discussion stage of how everything would work out since we were not in a romantic relationship when I hear from my ex. At this point I thought we were over and done with. Once I told him my plans, he was dead set against me having a baby, period. Since we were about the same age, his reasoning was we were told old to consider it, even though I wasn't asking him to be the father. We were 39 and 40. I told him my reasons for not having a baby sooner and how I was going to try anyways, so that he was free to walk away. He did. Haven't heard from him since. Well, I didn't have the best of luck in getting pregnant, still no babies unfortunately. I realize I'm better without my ex. I'm glad everything worked out better for you and I hope you're blessed with a baby soon. OP, I'm happy that G is supportive of your choice to become a mother. Please abstain from intercourse with him until you are pregnant by a donor and the pregnancy is viable. You want to be a mother and prepared to be a single mother, which I admire, but if you keep up sexual relations with G, then you risk him being the father. If that happens, then the father would know the child was half his and could file for custody. You would no longer be a single mother and it could be devastating to share custody that may want to make parenting decisions that are different than yours. Unless you are prepared for that possibility, then don't risk it. Keep trying to be a mother, and if G is as understandable as you feel he is now, then he will understand and support why you would make this decision. Good luck with everything. It is wonderful that you were open and honest with him in spite of your fears about his reaction. It sounds like he appreciates frank and candid attitude, so bear this in mind going forward and use this as the basis for your relationship. He sounds like a wonderful man, understanding and has equally strong feelings for you. It must be such a lovely feeling to have found someone like that. Enjoy every moment. Whatever the outcome in your journey to parenthood, I hope you find happiness. I know bearing a child is so important to so many women, but if that avenue doesn't bear fruit, please do bear in mind that there are other ways. If, in the future, you adopt or foster, those children may take hold of your heart in a way you never thought possible. You sound full of love and maternal instincts. I hope, however you come to have children, that you relish in the euphoria of having a family. The best is yet to come. This literally gave me goosebumps and restored my faith in humanity, for you actively listening to feedback, bravely doing what you were afraid of by being honest with him, and him appreciating that honesty and loving you, supporting your journey. I'm so genuinely happy for you. What a valuable lesson we can all take from this on such important matter as life, integrity, honesty, facing our fears, listening to what's nagging at our minds, being selfless enough to respect people's time through relationship investments, and prioritizing what mattered to us. Never been more proud to be a part of the Reddit community. I came here BC other social media platforms are so negative, and this kind of interaction was exactly what I was seeking. Yay for our Reddit fam.
Am I the a-hole for jumping out of a bathroom window to avoid my mom's attempt at forcing a reunion between me and my ex-fiancé? Some backstory. I had been dating my ex-fiancée Sarah for 4 years. We had been planning to get married in November 2020, but I found out at the start of this month that she cheated on me. She begged me to give her another chance, but I broke it off. The problem was that being cheated on is, in my mind, completely emasculating and humiliating. So I never told anyone that was the reason we broke up. For obvious reasons, Sarah also didn't tell people we broke up because she cheated. So people have blamed me for the breakup, including my mom. They just see that I dumped her out of the blue. I've gone very strict no contact with Sarah after I discovered she was cheating on me. Sarah has been talking with my mom and has convinced her that if we could talk one more time, we would be able to reconcile. My mom has been applying hardcore pressure on me to talk with Sarah, but I've explained that there's no chance we will ever get back together. So tonight, I go over to my mom's place because she's hosting family for Christmas Eve. I'm there for a bit talking with my aunts and uncles and cousins when the doorbell rings and I can see it's Sarah. I ask what the F is going on and my mom says she invited Sarah so we can work this out in the spirit of the holidays. I'm pissed now because the only way to explain my side of the story is to tell everyone I was cheated on. Complete humiliation in front of my whole family. So as my mom goes to the front door, I go into the bathroom. My mom starts knocking on the door saying that I need to come out and talk to my ex like an adult. I say fuck it, kick out the window screen and get in my car and go home. My mom called a short while ago saying she's cutting ties with me over my behavior. She's really fixated on me jumping out of a window, and that Sarah will always be like a child to her. My sister called me after to ream me out for ruining Christmas. I broke down and told her that Sarah cheated on me, which is why I dumped her and didn't want to see her under any circumstances. She called me a big a-hole who was lying to cover for myself. Am I really in the wrong?
You are totally in the right for dumping her and not wanting to have any contact with her, and it is not your family's responsibility to get involved with your relationship. However, you have no idea what this girl has been telling your mom and family since you haven't told them what happened, and they might be concerned that you're trying to self-sabotage. Well, your mother should have spent more time talking to you about what's going on rather than trying to reconcile the two of you. She doesn't know what's going on or understand why you are acting this way. If you had been transparent at the beginning, it's likely she would have taken your side and your family could give you emotional support that likely would have been helpful to you in this undoubtedly stressful time in your life. Obviously, this is an unexpected and horrible spend the holidays, and you have my deepest condolences. I totally understand why you wouldn't want to talk about what happened, and strangers on the internet have no idea of your past family dynamic, but it sounds like your family just wants to help. Best of luck. Even if you did just break up with her just because you felt like it, that gives them no right to force anyone in your life. Your ex is ridiculous for even trying to use your family to get back to you, knowing that you wouldn't want it to come out. She probably assumed you would just forgive her after putting in the effort. Honestly, your sister is probably going to tell everyone, and I'm sorry. The only asshole thing you did was breaking the window screen to get out. You did what you needed to do to avoid a situation that made you uncomfortable. I'm the kind of person that will cut anyone out of my life because I refuse to deal with bullshit. Slightly jaded in life, but hey, it is what it is. If your mom keeps up with saying she's going to cut ties with you, then ignore her. Don't answer calls or texts. I'm willing to bet after a few weeks she will apologize when she realizes you're an adult and she can't control you. If not, then you don't have someone controlling you. Win-win. You're allowed to end your relationship. You're also allowed to talk about it however you want. But the choice that you made, to not tell anyone the truth about what happened, left open the space for your ex to fill in the blanks however she wanted. You brought this on yourself. Your mom and sister are clearly assholes because of the shit they pulled and choosing to side with your ex. But judging from your sister's reaction and the fact that you climbed out of a bathroom window during a Christmas time family dinner instead of having a to-the-point conversation, points to the possibility that you run from your problems instead of facing them. For the record, I don't think that being cheated on is humiliating or emasculating, and I'm very sorry that you're going through this. It sucks. You should not feel ashamed that you were cheated on, but I do think you need to suck it up and be honest and straightforward with your family. You told Sarah no contact, and she does everything she can to go against your wishes, and also cheating doesn't sound like someone who will ever respect you. Her cheating on you will not make you any less of a man in anyone's eyes, only her a lying horrible person. You will still be the same person in your family's eyes. You have came out so much worse by not telling them. If you're worried about looking emasculated, you do realize how much more emasculated you must look with them thinking you are a douche who ghosts your longtime girlfriend and busts out window screens to avoid all confrontation instead of a hurt person who just got cheated on by someone they loved. You did make this worse for yourself, but you aren't your mom is for pressuring you and putting you in uncomfortable situations you have made clear to her you want to avoid, your sister for not believing you, and your no boundaries XGF. Has your mom or family caused you to feel emasculated or humiliated before? You should be able to share the truth and they should be able to respect your wishes.